So we just completed a report, the State of Converged TV, and over 75% of 1,000 buyers that we interviewed acknowledged that TV is now linear and streaming. So what does that mean to the industry? It means that the time is now. Converged TV is finally here, and we tend to still talk about linear and streaming and digital, and we use all the acronyms, and honestly, it's just TV. It's TV advertising, and we need to agree on that. And I think it just goes to show that when there's that many buyers acknowledging that it's a mix of both, that's why it's so important right now to be talking about a full cross-platform, cross-screen, cross-device measurement and outcomes play.
So within this report, 70% plus of buyers believe that TV should be sold on or traded on impressions. How does this shift to impression-based buying, I guess, impact sort of legacy models?
I think it's hard, and I think, it's what the industry is really struggling with. That being said, if we were to just sit and accept the mediocre, which is what the TV industry has been doing for the last 30 years, we're never going to move forward. So while this is hard, it presents us with a massive opportunity. We need to agree a way to count. Like, let's count the same way and let's ascribe value in the same way. And I think there's an awful lot of chat that is very, very complicated, and we kind of have a tendency in this industry to overdo it. And that puts people off from just trying. And I think, the next step for people has to be that it's out there, it's available today, you just got to have a go at it. Are there system issues? Are there going to be challenges around matching data and identity strategies? Yeah, of course there are. But if you don't try and you don't just say yes and embrace this opportunity, we're never going to move this industry forward. And the time for moving the industry forward is here.
So I guess since buyers now are saying, look, this is what we want, are you pretty much saying now the industry has no choice, we've got to move this way?
The industry has no choice.
Right.
I mean, and really, Zach, it's like the buyers, the marketers are the ones with the money, right? We're here to support them selling more product and services. And if they're seeing more product leave their shelves, then they're going to be happy. You know what? TV's working for me. Let's keep going. I think we tend to get, we get really hung up on big data now and metrics and addressability and all the industry buzzwords. At the end of the day, I think it's something that TVSquared's been preaching probably for the last 5 years at least, and the industry's finally woken up to what's possible.
So another thing that buyers ask for as well is an understanding of cross-screen behavior, following audiences, finding audiences, not just across premium broadcast inventory across devices, but also digital as well. I mean, is that going to happen? Is that a pipe dream, is what I'm wondering.
It's happening now. One of the things that I always bring up is that the education of this industry isn't where it needs to be. And I think we all do a good job of talking about collaboration, but actually many people in the industry don't have an appreciation for what already exists. So when TVSquared thinks about cross-platform, we already have linear, whether it's national broadcast or local cable or whatever, globally, right? And now we've integrated with 120 different CTV platforms, streaming platforms, DSPs. So the picture that we can build across the ecosystem is huge. And once you show that to a brand, there's no going back. So if they come to you via a CTV campaign on a publisher and you show them a real-time dashboard that's getting second-by-second insights and updates, they go, wait a second, why have I never seen this before? And how do I get it across my linear? And then we say, we have it for linear too, and it blows their mind. So I think it's about engaging with the holding company agencies, and it's about being at conferences, being out and about, talking to people and educating the market on what's available today. But when you ask me, like, is it a pipe dream? We just did data-driven linear, reach and frequency, reach extension, full outcomes attribution for 2,400 advertisers for Tegna across local linear and Premion in 8 weeks. 2,400 advertisers we added to the platform. And it's gonna take software at scale with workflow automation, and that's the only way we can do this.
So you're talking about premium video assets across multiple platforms there, CTV, devices, and telly. What about adding in digital to that? Is that a pipe dream?
I don't think it's a pipe dream. We're
Okay.
not there yet, but I don't think it's a pipe dream.
For that to work, you'd need to share data with Google and Facebook and others.
Well, and interestingly, we have started to see them move. Okay.
Okay.
Can't say any more than that, but I think there's an appreciation now in the market that it has to include everything. And you know, one of the things we say at TVSquared is like we measure everything except YouTube because they haven't shared the data. And when we come to this industry again and we talk about collaboration, one of the things that I talk often about on panels is, you know, the walled gardens and the egos in the room aren't helping the advances in this industry that we so desperately need. And the other point that I make is, if you produce content and you buy and sell media, you cannot measure it, right? Like, everyone take a seat. You're very sweet, but take a seat. Because we want the content providers and the programmers to keep producing awesome television, right? But we need horizontal ecosystem, giant platform players globally like TVSquared to be doing the measurement, finding the audiences, and helping people transact in real time. And I think, you know, once those walls come down or people realize that there are platforms that are already doing this and they don't need 10 different versions that they try and tie together, then we can make it part of the table stakes and we can move forward.
Yeah, I always found surprising about the US market is that there's no actual like JIC or independent body that provides, you know, the gold standard of impression count or whatever it may be, like there are in other markets. There's just one thing in the US that doesn't seem to exist, but that everywhere else has done that, you know, with Barb's and Numeris, etc.
Yeah,
markets.
And I think when I talk to, you know, obviously TVSquared is in the UK, it's in Germany, it's in 75 countries, but the big markets, you know, UK, Germany, Australia, US, you know, we can't not mention Nielsen, and we can't not mention that they're talking about, you know, Nielsen won in 2024. And in terms of, you know, I want to collaborate with them. Like, they need a seat at the table. And while I don't think that the Nielsen piece of the pie is going to be as big as it once was, I do think that the time has come for multiple tradable currencies in this industry. And, you know, Barb's done a really good job and Nielsen hasn't kept up. And they're suffering for that now.
Barb, Oztam, Numeris, there's quite a few JICs that have actually advanced their digital capabilities actually around the world and done it in a consistent fashion with the currency in those markets.
Yeah.
Just finally, just to sum up, and you have mentioned some of these points in this conversation, but how can the industry here in the US sort of better support advertisers as we move through this sort of path, if you like, on this journey to converge TV campaigns?
Great question. I think they have to listen. The industry has to listen, and I think that they have to take action. I think, you know, there's a lot of chatty that goes on, chatty Cathy, in this, even in America, and I've been here for 15 years, so I kind of know it pretty well at this point. The ego stuff is still a problem. Like, when we think about identity, everyone wants to come out with their own ID. Everyone wants it to be their idea. I urge everybody, you know, let the software companies come and figure out the currency and the audience and the attribution and the outcomes, and let the TV companies focus on what they're best at, which is producing content, and let the marketers focus on what they're best at, which is customer experience and the consumer, and pulling together a fabulous consumer experience. But if we want to just, you know, sit on our backsides and get a lower CPM for more eyeballs, we're never going to move this industry forward. So I urge everybody, even though sometimes it feels like it's hard, take the step. take action, let's make 2022 different.